Order 631, Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Cole?
Here.
Councilmember Schwer?
Here.
Councilmember Wong? Here. Councilmember Nordby?
Here.
Mayor Muggy?
Here. And a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
So moved.
So moved. Councilmember Cole.
Second.
Councilmember Schwer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Consent agenda. Item A is June 18th, 2024 workshop minutes. Item B is June 18th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Item C, general claims of $1,030,824.88. Item D is HRA claims of $15,026.76. Item E is May building permit report. Item F is the special event permit for Newman's Vintage Speakeasy, Inc.
Thank you very much. Would any of the members like to pull any at this time? If not, can I get a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
So move. Councilmember Norby.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Cole. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
And I'd just like to pause real quick and just thank the community director, the community development manager for digging into the Newman's piece. There were some questions that we had, and I just want to, he's not here, but I want to thank him for clarity.
Thank you very much. All right, at 6:33, we'll open to the public. John Schmal.
I'll ask permission to approach the bench, but I will give it out anyway.
Thank you.
Whoops.
Oop.
I got only so many, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Member Sawyer has got one already.
Thanks, John.
The subject is submitting a data request. Why I submitted it? Oh, John Schmal, 2750 Chisholm Avenue.
Okay.
I submitted a data request, and I have no idea why I did it, but I just did it. And I asked for the SAC-WAC fees and the park dedication fee for all the developments that have happened. And surprise, a surprise, one of them didn't pay a park dedication fee. Surprise. Why? So I asked, and the answer came back. It was waived by the city manager. Now, I don't know what city manager or whatever, but 2 hours later, I got an answer that says, no, it wasn't waived by any city manager. So I continued. I said, well, what's the rules and regulations on waiving? We got to have rules and regulations when you waive something. Everything I tried got back, there's none. There are none. It was just waived, but there's no rules, but it was waived. So I gave up on that part of it, and I went to a park meeting and handed this out. And the park meeting, oh, wow, isn't that something? What could they do? So I asked the advisor to the park dedication group, Councilmember Schwer, what's going on? Can you help? And she got back to me and said, she went to the city manager, present city manager, and the answer was, it's in the hands of the city attorney. And that is like saying that the consigliere to Don Carolone is going to give me an answer, and it'd be like that consigliere going to the FBI and saying, whoa, the mafia has got a problem. It ain't going to happen. It's the fox in charge of the chicken house. So at the present time, what's the answer? Why did the developers, who are good old boys in the North St. Paul group population, they didn't pay a park dedication fee? Why? Thank you.
Thank you.
Like a chance to respond to that.
Sure.
One of the great things about being a city attorney is you become quite accustomed to a number of analogies. A fox in a hen house in a consulary is not something I've received yet, John, so I'd like to thank you for that. In terms of answers and no answers, it's something we're looking into. I don't believe some of the members on the council were here when those decisions were or weren't made, and so we're looking into it. I think any indications of not knowing when people weren't here aren't necessarily fair, John. And sometimes those things do take time to dig out. So appreciate your patience on that, appreciate the way you come up and highlight that and choose to name call. But it is something we'll look into and get to the bottom of.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, that's right. This is a whole new council, so thank you for what you're looking into, Soren. Thank you. All right, I will close. And now, as he walks up, the man, the myth, Morgan.
The city engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. So this next item before you on city business is the beginning of working towards what is in the capital improvement plan currently as adopted by council 2024-2033 capital improvement plan as the next full reconstruct project on the list, scheduled for 2025 as the construction year. As a first order of business with that is a need to refresh data collected back in 2019, where a feasibility study was completed at that time. So building on that, updating some information since at that time the project was put on hold and delayed within the capital improvement plan till 2025 as it currently sits within the plan. And prepare updated estimates, right? So there's a need to look at the number that's in the capital improvement plan for a project cost. That has been the number that has been from the original feasibility study, but then just adjusted for assumed inflation rates year over year since that time, 2019. So the number is in the ballpark, but I think it needs to be better than ballpark, and so that would be the first order of business, would be to, again, kind of freshen up some of the existing conditions, information necessary to move forward with the project, update that feasibility study, represent that to council with an updated cost, which we are anticipating would be about September timeframe. And then council could consider potentially ordering, the improvements, public improvement project formally moving forward with more detailed design, preparation of construction documents with an assumed timeline of bidding that out early in 2025 for receipt of bids around the March timeframe, potentially awarding a contract and then looking at construction to likely last through the full construction season of 2025. So that would be an assumed May to November timeframe for most of the work, with some minor cleanup and final wear paving likely in 2026, which would be the typical cycle. Just review of the streets included, which haven't changed since 2019 for this first phase. It's in the Casey Lake area, north of Casey Lake Park, Buell Avenue, Gerald Avenue, Shawnee Drive. All three of those roads are, from a pavement standpoint, in poor condition. We did advance some sewer lining work underneath Gerald Avenue that was originally going to be included in this project, but some of the state of the sewer in terms of tree roots growing into it and clogs and backups was such that we had an opportunity to include that in 2022 with an overall sewer lining project. So some of the work's been done that was planned for, that was identified need, but had to be done at that time because it really couldn't wait any much longer. And we know, staff knows from comments received from the public, the state of the pavement on Gerald Avenue is extremely bad, so the project really couldn't come soon enough. So I'll stand for any questions. I can't make a recommendation for my own services, but the item in your packet is a proposal for professional services from the city's engineering consultant, WSB, for that feasibility study. I'll hand it to Brian for, recommended action, but certainly I'll stand for any questions the council might have at this time.
Thanks, Morgan. Appreciate you digging into this and looking at it. It's definitely an area that was looking for improvement. Thank you. Want me to-
Thank you. So it is staff's recommendation to approve the professional services proposed by WSB for a feasibility study and preliminary design for the 2025 street and utility improvement project, which would be City Project CP 25-1.
I get a motion for that, please?
So moved.
So move, Councilmember Wong. Second, Councilmember Cole. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Morgan.
All right, reports, city manager and departments.
Thank you, Mayor. First up, Electric's been doing a lot of work out there on the Jennifer Lane area. As they're going, they've been pulling in wire and switching over to the newer transformers as they go. They've been putting down well over 2 miles of new primary wire, about 12,000 feet, and about 1,000 feet of secondary wire as well. Taco Bell's moving along. They have the foundation poured. They're really quick builds, kind of like the Quick Trips were. They're about a 3 to 4 month build, so they're looking at getting they already have temp power installed, but they'll be getting the transformer over there relatively soon. I was looking for a 3 to 4 month build time, and there was already probably a couple months behind them. They're probably looking at September, maybe early October at the latest for having that up and going. The week of the 15th, they'll be taking Weber School out of power. We're putting a new transformer in there for the school. It's my understanding that they're bringing down from, which is now located in Maplewood at Harmony to that school. So they're getting ready for that. The Lilly Building, or Article 7, is looking at permanent power, probably early September, for getting that transformer in there and getting the overhead wires out of the way. We are looking for a website upgrade that Ava is looking into. We're still getting input from other employees to see where problem spots are and where we can make improvements, and so we're just starting into that process right now. It's actually a free upgrade for the most part from a contract that we already have in place, so there'll be some minimal costs that go along with that, not much. Finance, of course, has been working hard on the budget. We're looking to get from the department heads by this Friday the SIP monies of what they're going to be putting in for the budget. Community Development's been working with the Planning Commission, trying to get a meeting scheduled for before, hopefully next week, so we can get that information to you guys by the first meeting in August, so we can keep that project rolling along. Public Works has been busy with trying to plan the site that we have at 6th Street and 7th Avenue for a new student-built project. We'll be looking probably for some variances there. It's kind of a small, odd-shaped lot, but these same variances, for the most part, were given to the house that already exists there that was a student-built project back in 2014, 15, yeah.
And that went from a duplex to a single family, correct?
Correct.
And they redid it?
It did,
Very nice.
yep. We had the new dumpsters in place with the new fence around it out there at Casey Lake. And we've also done some maintenance out there, fixed up damage that was done on our unfortunate weekend where we had a shooting out there, and so far it came out really well without having to do some major reconstruction out there, so. Still working with the EAB. How'd you like to come up on that one, Ron? You got lots of stats on that.
You can do it.
Yeah, really, dump it on him.
EAB, for our boulevard trees, our first contractor, we bid out 40 trees at the very beginning. That contractor is still working it. There's still 8 left to go. Kind of a little bigger project than he's used to. So there's still 8 trees left to go, but we bid out, that was 50 trees the first round. The second round is 40 trees. We had that bid out. We just awarded that bid for that contractor just last week for the other 40 on the boulevards. Those, we gave him kind of a deadline of October 1st to have all those done. He said that shouldn't be no problem. So for all those boulevard trees, that's taking the tree down, grinding the stumps and hauling away the grindings. And then we also have to order the trees to replace those, because for every tree we take out, we got to replace those trees. So we have a, I don't know if we had the contractor lined up yet, but come in and plant those trees and, replace those trees before the end of the year also. On the resident side of the trees, we've had, I think, 32 applications for that, which is about 70 trees. And we actually are pretty much at our max right now with the money. We had $100,000 for those trees. And we're not quite there, but we actually closed the sign up for that, or the registration for that, because we want to make sure we stay under that money. Once we get closer here and get the rest of the bids in for that, we'll see where we're at, but we're pretty close to using that $100,000 up. The contractor that we've had for that has been great to work with. He's really worked with some of the residents. There was one resident that had 13 ash trees on their property, and there was $5,000 per residence that was allotted. That was the max that someone could have. It was well over that, but the contractor actually worked with the person and basically came in at that and ended up taking those 13 trees down for that money. So they've been great to work with so far. So that's kind of the quick update off the top of my head here for that. So, and then in the future here we have 40 trees slated for next year and the following year, but it depends on how much where the money comes in at. We'll see where we're at next year. We have to have all of our submittals in before, the earlier the better, but before December, so we can get reimbursed for that money for the year. We have $300,000 to spend on that. I don't know the number offhand where we're at now with the cutting the trees down and then replacing them, but we'll see where we're at on that. So,
Question for you. So because we were allotted such a amount and there were stipulations around who was able to receive those trees and those dollars, would the contractor be open to giving some sort of a discount to the residents in North St. Paul that would like those trees taken down? I know I've had some community members come to me and say, well, why such stipulations? But they clearly want those taken down as well. So I don't know if that's something.
There's something I could talk to the contractor about and see. But I think, for us to get the pricing that we got, what we did is we went out and we took like 10 applications and we said, all right, give us a price on these, 10. After we went out, double checked that it was an ash tree, made sure, everything was cool and met everything. So he went and gave us a price for, hey, here's 10 trees or 15 trees or whatever it would be. But it's something that we could ask him about and just see where he's at with that.
I think it'd be worthwhile just for the sake of the individuals that would like to get theirs removed. We may not be able to offer them that grant that we were giving individuals, but at least say, hey, we asked the contractor this, and you could get your tree removed for less than that.
Yeah, and the one thing to consider with this too is that we've bid the 50 trees out for the boulevard trees, and then we did. Don't quote me on these numbers. I think we had 10 residents. We had another. We had this. It could have been the same contractors go and bid them for the residential trees, because for the residential trees, all we're doing is we're cutting the trees down. We're not removing the stumps. We don't have to replace the trees. So there was one contractor for the first 40. There was a different contractor for the residential trees, and now there's a different contractor that was a lower, that bid on all this stuff before. So, it's not like we have one contractor that got all this stuff. So, I don't know how, I'm just throwing that out there, that there's been 3 different contractors. So, we can definitely inquire about that, and I can, let you know, but.
I hear you. I'm just problem solving, trying to figure out something for our community members.
I get that. I think it would be, and who knows, they might offer something like that, but we can definitely touch base with them and find out.
Okay.
Since we got you, how'd you like to tell us how the ball field was filled in out at Housey, and then when you were out there during that process.
Okay, so Housy Park, the pickleball courts are in, the fence is up, the seed is in, blanketed. If you guys got any questions, or if you had anybody asking you why is nothing going on, when they put the blacktop down, they gotta wait 30 days before they can paint it, stripe it. It's gotta be rained on multiple times. It's kind of funny because when we had the pre-con meeting for that, the contractor said, hey, if it doesn't rain in 30 days, you know, we're gonna have to figure out something, because it has to be like wet down like at least 3 different times. So we had a plan that we could bring our tanker truck out there and spray it down, but we don't have a problem with the rain this year. So we got to be getting really close to that 30 days. I don't know where we're at, but so if anyone is questioning why is nothing happening up there, we're about that 30-day mark. I'm thinking after the holiday week here, they'll probably be in, you know, soon to do that. But part of us receiving the grant for these pickleball courts, we had to take out the little ball field that was in there. It's a little T-ball field. Otherwise, we would have had to make that ADA, and it would have been, I think, another $100,000 or something to get a sidewalk or whatever it needed down there. So we had to take out the ball field, take out a backstop for that, and then we filled it all in with black dirt, and then we had to black dirt and seed that to meet the requirements. We did that, and it was less than 12 hours. Randy and I were out driving around looking at some stuff, and we just, perfect timing, a van pulled into where we seeded into Halsey and drove down. They thought it was blacktop, and it was all fresh dirt, and they pulled in and got stuck. And it was kind of bad. It was a group with special needs adults in it, and they were coming to have a picnic, and the lady driving thought it looked like blacktop, and she drove right into the black dirt, so it got stuck. So we now have it barricaded off so no one can drive in there. We made the repairs, and yeah, so.
And they were able to get out okay?
No, they had to get a tow truck.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they were stuck pretty bad, so.
And what's left now, though, now that it's ready, is painting, striping, and then putting the nets up, and then
Yep.
it should be good to go?
Yep, so it should be, you know, once they're at their 30 days, it should go pretty quick. Everything else is pretty much wrapped up. There'll be some touch-up seating and stuff to do that we have to go over with the contractor, but for the most part, like I said, the fences are all up in and pretty much just waiting for that.
Any quick update on the lead pipe service checks?
Lead service lines, I think we're at just about 500 reported, and that's with us going out on Mondays and Fridays, looking at people's lead service lines. We're still, we still probably have about 3,400 unknowns. I think it's right around there. Our deadline to get that in, I believe I read something that they extended it, I think a month, but I think it's still, yeah, that's kind of about where we're at with that right now.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
While you're here, question for Housy, and I don't remember, so I apologize if this was already addressed. If we have a cold winter this winter, is Housy still going to be a candidate for the ice rink, or does this construction eliminate that?
I'm thinking it probably won't be a good candidate for it. Okay. We're gonna take the curb cut out, so people. It was just an unfortunate incident that happened with that, but I think now that it's gonna be all grass, it's probably not an ideal place. Maybe we can look at doing it, you know, at Casey or. It could still be done there.
I didn't really have a preference. I just know I had been asked, so I wanted to get the information.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron.
Yep.
PD had coffee with the cop last Thursday downtown, which was nice to have the public come in and sit with them. They have 2 positions that they'll be interviewing for that they got applications on, so that's good. Hopefully it turns out well. And they will also have a trailer camera set up at Casey Lake in the parking lot for the 4th of July to keep an eye on things out there. And speaking of Housie Park, we're in the process of doing ribbon cutting on that for the new field. We'll have, more likely have somebody there to kind of teach pickleball for people who might be interested. And then also working on a potential movie night out there to blow up screen and have somebody come out and do that. So that'll be nice. More information to come on that. We're also working with tennis on a 2-year extension contract, which was part of the original contract that we have. Most everything will stay the same. They have, they can charge up to a 3% increase per year for the 2-year contract, but they've been good to work with. So that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your update. And Ron, too. Okay, reports for council, commissions, and committees. Councilmember Norby.
The planning commission is looking at possibly a special session in the month of July. More details to come, and that notice will come out if it happens.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Wong.
Yeah, and the Arts and Culture Commission is staying pretty busy. There was a paint-along, and then there's another one here coming up on July 11th. And there's Music in the Parks, in which the art cart is at. And then there's another paint-along on July 22nd, August 29th, and October 24th. The Autumn Arts Festival is also on September 14th. So all of those things are in the works. Our meeting on July 3rd was moved to July 10th here in the chambers at 6:30. And that'll be the next meeting.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Schwer.
I unfortunately missed Parks and Rec due to being at the council retreat. So next meeting, next month.
Thank you. Member Cole.
Next EDA meeting is a week from today. It will be the 9th at 4 o'clock here in council chambers.
All right.
Do you mind if I add one more thing?
Go right ahead.
So, yeah, not only are we having the PD putting their trailer camera out there, you know, we've had some issues out there the past couple of years, some excessive partying, you might say, and so cops will be making good drive-bys along their route through the city that night as well. So just want to put the information out there.
That's great to hear. Thank you. All right. General business, Councilmember Norby.
Just want to wish everyone a happy and a safe 4th of July. Please stay safe.
Thank you. Councilmember Cole. Wong. Jeez Louise. I was doing so well too, wasn't I? That's what happens when you fly too close to the sun. You always burn.
Um,
I almost answered.
I wish it would have. It would have helped.
As for other business, I just wanted to bring attention to our native plant policy and ordinance. It's actually a permit process. I think it's something for us to perhaps discuss. It's quite restrictive when we look at other types of plants, and just something I think we should really reevaluate, because it's like 8 pages long and is pretty extensive. And if we're talking about, you know, our flood plan and what our watershed district is informing us as well, then I think removing some of those barriers to planting native plants could be helpful for, you know, mitigating any floods and, you know, providing opportunities for pollinators. So just wanted to bring attention to that and hopefully have a discussion about it at some point.
Thank you. Councilmember Schwer.
There was a few of us that attended the city council conference in Rochester. I found it very beneficial for all of us. There were many cities that attended, and we had all kinds of good things to share, what cities are doing, and meeting with some of our outside contractors. So it was very beneficial. It was nice to have everyone and see everyone there. Other than that, I just wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July.
Thank you.
My comments are to mirror everyone else up here on council, just to have a very safe and great 4th of July, and we'll see you after the weekend.
Thank you. Also, I'm excited about the website upgrade. We were at this League of Minnesota Cities, and they were talking about how to get information out. All the news, all the letters, or the newspapers, Lily and all the other ones are all gone. So what we have is our site, and that's pretty much our town newspaper, is our website, as our webpage, and all the information we can get out. So I appreciate that. That's going to be great too. We've always had it good, so it'd be nice to be able to keep that going and keep that updated. So, like I said, everybody have a safe 4th of July. The next meeting will be held July 16th. So, thank you very much. I call for adjournment.
So moved?
Councilmember Cole.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Swear. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all.